All right, man, touch the chat. You know what it is, man. Back at it. Hey, how y'all doing, man? Hope everybody's good. Everybody's good. Look, so today's episode, Sean Kingston. I don't know if y'all know who Sean Kingston is. He was a pretty big artist a couple of years back. Him and his mom got convicted of a very serious crime, and he might be doing some real time in prison. So we're going to get into that. Before I get into that, I got to get a spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know the final ones that just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. I'm 1,300 subscribers, over 17,000. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you from. Also, too, 25,000 subscriber. I'm going to be giving away a nice size cash prize. So make sure you in for that. All right, man. So let's get it, man. Let's do it. All right, man. So we're going to get into this. This is very interesting. I wanted to cover this a while back, but I wanted to wait to see what happened. And now that I know, you know what I mean? Let's get it.
Sean Kingston couldn't say a word as he was escorted out of the courtroom hours ago. His mom had been arrested, and he had begged agents to protect her as they took her away. But with fraud spanning millions of dollars and involving scamming Redditors and even using his connections with Justin Bieber to dupe people, Kingston should also be worried about how long he's going to be in prison as well. What happened to Sean Kingston? For those who might be too young to remember, Kingston was deadass giving us that unique Jamaican-American sound that had everyone vibing. But fast forward to today and Kingston's name is trending for all the wrong reasons. No cap, this story is wild. Sean Kingston and his mother, Janice Turner, were found guilty of wire fraud, defrauding businesses of over $1 million in luxury goods. That's right.
All right. I'm not trying to defend any crimes. I'm really not. But you can see the hypocrisy in this. Some politicians, whether they're on the right or the left, it doesn't matter. They get a slap on the wrist for the same type of charge. And I know people say, well, it really depends on the lawyer you get. It really depends on the representation. No, the law should apply all the way across the board. All the way across the board. I like that artwork behind him too. That's pretty unique. That's pretty dope, actually. But yeah, I'm not encouraging to do stuff like that. I'm just saying they don't give the same people that do these type of crimes. They don't get this, and it's for more money. For more money. The whole insider trading thing. You have to ask yourself, how is it that a lot of these politicians are filthy rich and they don't make that much money? I know people saying, well, the only person that got deals or book deals is Obama. The rest of them don't have nothing. How are they so rich? Like how? You can do so many book tours and do so many speaking tours, but some of them don't do no speaking tours. How are they multimillionaires? How? Some of them only make $250,000 a year. How are you a multimillionaire? How you own 3 mansions? This is the stuff that I'm talking about. So when stuff like this happened to him, I gotta question that too.
Not just Sean, but his mom, too. They're literally facing up to 20 years in prison per charge. And the sentencing, it's scheduled for July 11th, 2025. The internet is absolutely losing it over this mother-son duo caught up in some serious legal drama. Let's rewind for a second, though. Before we get into all the fraud tea, we need to understand who Sean Kingston really is. This man didn't exactly have the easiest come-up. His early life was marked by hardship, including a breaking and entering charge at age 11, time in jail, boot camp, and periods of homelessness, often sleeping in cars with his family. No joke, it was tough. What's even
That has nothing to do with anything, dog. That has nothing to do with water being wet and fire being hot. That has nothing to do with anything, bro. Just because you did all that don't mean that, and I don't want to hear the sympathy call like, oh, well, this is the reason why he did it. Nah. Sean Kingston was a successful musician. He didn't have to do that. He didn't. He could have kept going with his music. He didn't have to do that. No. So let's just figure out. Let's try to figure out where he came from and his upbringing. So what? So so what? You had a hard upbringing. I did too. Look what I'm doing. Am I doing wire fraud? No. No, I'm not. Like, come on, bro.
Crazier is that his mother, Janice Turner, was incarcerated for identity fraud during his teenage years, adding to the family struggles. Despite all this, Kingston managed to turn things around when he was discovered on YouTube and signed to Beluga Heights Records in 2007. His rise to fame was literally the definition of going from 0 to 100 real quick, and for a while, it seemed like Kingston had finally made it out of those tough situations. But here's where things get spicy. Kingston's career hasn't exactly been popping off lately. His follow-up albums Tomorrow, 2009, and Back to Life 2013 saw diminishing commercial success, with Back to Life failing to chart at all. Basically, the man went from chart-topping hits to struggling to stay relevant, and this financial decline might be a key piece of the puzzle when we look at what led to these fraud allegations. Let's talk.
I mean, I can understand what you're saying, but to me, that still ain't no excuse. Yeah, I mean, it ain't no excuse. I mean, sometimes you're going to have that type of rough patch when you're an artist. But I mean, you just got to come up with better material. Maybe you need to find somebody that'll work with you and write some of your music for you. Yeah, I'm just saying, you gotta. I mean, people like, oh, he was struggling to stay relevant, so this is the reason why he did it. Like, no, maybe he was. I don't know. I'm just saying, if that's his excuse, that ain't no excuse. Let's keep it going.
About what actually went down, because this is where it gets absolutely bonkers. In May 2024, Kingston's South Florida mansion was raided by SWAT, leading to his arrest alongside his mother on charges of fraud and theft. Like, we're talking full-on SWAT team raid, the type of thing you'd see in those intense police shows. There's literally footage of this raid that—
Like, come on, bro. This is what I mean. Like, this right here, to me, is overdoing it. This is why people have a big problem with law enforcement. This right here. People could say whatever they want to say. There was no reason for you to raid his home with SWAT. Is he a danger? Is he one of those type of people that is offing people? You know what I'm saying? No, he wasn't. And if he did, that was probably in the past when he was younger. But like, so you telling me you can't send officers there, 2 officers there to arrest him? You have to raid his home with SWAT? like, come on, bro. Like, this is what I mean. This is the reason why people have a huge problem with law enforcement, because they overdo it. You don't need all that for 2 people. You don't. That's unarmed. You don't need all this. What is all that for? Look at this. Like, look at this.
Raided by SWAT, leading to his arrest alongside his mother on charges of fraud and theft. Like, we're talking full-on SWAT team raid, the type of thing you'd see in the—
Look at this. What is all this for? What is all this? This is what I mean. You got full tactical gear. All of y'all got all of these weapons. What is all this for? This is why people have a huge problem with law enforcement, because of things like this. This is why, because y'all overdo it for no reason. Y'all didn't need to do all that. For what? This is all for a photo op. Like, come on, bro. And again, I'm not defending what he did. I'm just saying, like, what is all this for?
Intense police shows. There's literally footage of this raid that shows how serious the situation was. The allegations against Kingston and his mother are truly next level. They were accused of defrauding businesses of over $1 million through fraudulent documents and failed bank transfers, targeting sellers of high-end vehicles, jewelry, and other goods. We're talking Cadillac Escalades, designer watches worth 6 figures, and luxury home theater systems. The man was really out here trying to ball out on a budget.
But that is, even with all that is not any type of crime that involves somebody losing their life. You know what I'm saying? None of that. You're talking about fraud. So you're sending a SWAT team in to arrest a man? to raid him? What? I mean, what? Did he have drugs in the floor? He has guns in the ceiling. Which one? Like, this is, to me, I'm telling you, sometimes I be thinking to myself, this is the reason why people hate the law enforcement, because of stuff like this. You didn't need to do all that. And then you put it out there. It's like, what is this? Like, I don't know. I just think it's overdoing it. I think it's overdoing it. For fraud, no, I don't think that you should be raiding somebody's house for fraud. Like, no. Just do send some cops in, and that's it. Maybe 2 or 3 cops, and that's it. You're under arrest for fraud. But you busting through the door with 10 people, get on the ground, get on the ground, get on the ground. You were stealing TVs. Like, what? Like, come on, bro. You can't be serious.
A fraudulent budget. One of the most damning pieces of evidence came from Fort Lauderdale jeweler Moshe Edery, who testified about Kingston providing a fake wire transfer screenshot for a $285,000 watch. Just imagine being so confident that you think you can get away with sending a fake screenshot for something worth almost 300 G's. The audacity is legitimately on another level. The evidence against Kingston and his mom is looking mad sus. The police found voice memos and texts, such as Kingston instructing his mother to create fake receipts to delay payments. Like, they literally have receipts on the receipts. In one particularly incriminating text, Kingston told his mother, "I told you to make fake receipts so it looks like the transfer will be there in a couple of days." Major yikes.
Come on, bro. Come on, Sean. Bro. You can't be serious sending that in a text, bro. You sent that in a text? Ah, Sean. Come on, Sean. Sean. I told you. I told you to make fake receipts. I told you to make fake receipts? You said that in a text message? Bro, come on, bro.
Now, as we all know, Sean Kingston isn't just known for his music. He's had his fair share of personal struggles and challenges. In 2011, he was seriously injured in a jet ski accident in Miami, Florida, alongside a female passenger, which shows that his life has been full of ups and downs. But this fraud case is hitting different because it involves family and potentially decades behind bars. What's also interesting about this whole situation is how Kingston was using his celebrity status to pull off these scams. According to court documents, Kingston leveraged his fame by name-dropping former collaborators like Justin Bieber and promising social media advertising to lure businesses. He even told a home entertainment company he was Bieber's business partner to secure a $150,000 home theater system, a claim that Bieber was...
Bruh. Damn, Justin. They got you, bro. That's crazy. I'm Justin Bieber's business partner. Yeah, I want to secure this $100,000 payment for a entertainment system. Like, bro, come on. Y'all niggas be spending money on dumb stuff. That's crazy. Bro, 150 grand is a house, bro. Entertainment system? Yeah.
social media advertising to lure businesses. He even told a home entertainment company he was Bieber's business partner to secure a $150,000 home theater system, a claim that Bieber was supposedly unaware of. Talk about clout chasing gone wrong. The sheer magnitude of this fraud is actually wild when you break it down. Kingston and his mother defrauded multiple businesses, including jewelers, car dealerships, and luxury goods providers, using fraudulent documents and fake wire transfers. The scheme was active from October 2023 to March 2024, which means they were at this for months. According to the court records, the total amount...
Bro, listen, let me explain something to y'all. That's not a long time for fraud. And for a whole year, there's people who's been frauding for 10 years, and I've seen it. I don't know them personally, but they only got a slap on the wrist. Maybe got a year in prison. That's it. Or a year in federal prison or something like that. But for this guy here to get, they talk about 25 years. That's nuts. That's nuts. And you know what I think? The reason why they so upset about it, and the reason why they probably knew him, because they can't believe that he actually went and did all this. You know what I'm saying? But him doing the time it's not going to do anything. Him doing the time is what? They still lost the money. They still lost everything. Not him, but the people. What is that going to do? I'm not saying that they got to set the man free, but him doing 25 years behind bars. I think some of these crimes you shouldn't be in prison for. I think that if you did a crime, like I think me personally, I think only severe crimes you should go to prison for. Severe stuff like this, no, you shouldn't go to prison for this. You should pay a fine and they should put you in house arrest. That's it. You have to wear an ankle bracelet. But as far as going to prison for frauding, no, I don't think you should. That's just my opinion. I know some of y'all probably think I'm tripping, but I'm serious.
Defrauded is over $1 million. That's not just a little scam, that's a whole operation. Here's a breakdown of some of the major items they allegedly scammed. An Audemars Piguet watch worth $285,000 from Fort Lauderdale jeweler Moshe Ederi, a bulletproof Cadillac Escalade valued at $159,701.49 from an exotic car dealership, a luxury bed valued at over $86,000 from a company named Mari,
Bro,
a $150,000.
There's no way in the world there's no way, bro. There's no way, bro. There's no way you paid 100. You got a luxury bed worth over 100. And again, I want y'all to understand, just because they said it's worth that doesn't mean that's what it is. It could actually only been 30,000, but it's worth that. Just like this right here, the Cadillac could have been worth that, but it's really not the price. You know what I'm saying? It's just worth that. But still, bro, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
$159,701.49 from an exotic car dealership, a luxury bed valued at over $86,000 from a company named Mari, a $150,000 home theater system from a luxury TV company, various jewelry valued at $480,000 from other businesses. The trial itself was a whole vibe. In March 2025, a Broward County jury found Kingston and Turner guilty of 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 4 counts of wire fraud after 3 hours of deliberation. 3 hours. That's how quickly the jury was convinced of their guilt. The man who once sang about fire burning is now watching his future go up in flames. After the verdict, Kingston was placed under house.
Come on with these jokes. The man who once sung about fire burning is now watching his future go up in flames. Come on with these jokes, bro. Oh my God.
What the fuck is this nigga talking about?
Come on, bro.
Arrest with electronic monitoring, required to post a bond of a home valued at $500,000 and $200,000 in cash, while his mother was taken into custody. The moment was apparently emotional, with Kingston begging marshals to protect my mother as she was taken away. No matter what they did, seeing your mom get taken to jail has got to hit different, but that's not even the end of it all. From mansion raids to courtroom drama. So the whole legal saga kicked off in May 2024 when authorities decided they'd had enough of Kingston's alleged shenanigans. A SWAT team raided Kingston's rented mansion in Southwest Ranches, Florida, leading to his mother's arrest. The footage from this raid was giving major movie vibes. We're talking officers in tactical gear. Police.
Look at how many, look at this. Look at this. Look at how many police officers is there. This is crazy.
Southwest Ranches, Florida, leading to his mother's arrest. The footage from...
Look at that, bro. Look at that. This is for one person. This is overkill right here. For one person, what do you think is going to happen? He's not armed and dangerous. His mom's not armed and dangerous. Look at this. This is the reason why people hate law enforcement, because of stuff like this. And you visually see this. This is crazy. This is overkill. I'm sorry.
This raid was giving major movie vibes. We're talking officers in tactical gear, police vehicles surrounding the property, the whole nine. Kingston wasn't home during the raid, but that didn't save him from catching these hands of justice. He was later arrested in California at Fort Irwin Army Base.
Come on, bro. Catching these hands of justice. Bro, that's crazy. Catching these hands of justice. Come on. That's funny as hell.
After performing at a concert. Imagine going from performing on stage to being put in handcuffs. Talk about a vibe check. TMZ got the whole thing on video, and it's absolutely wild to see how quickly Kingston's life changed. After the arrests, things got real official real quick. Kingston was booked into Broward Jail on June 4th, 2024, with charges related to the $1 million fraud case and bond set at $100,000. Then, 2 months after the arrest, both Kingston and his mother were indicted in Miami federal court. This wasn't just some minor legal trouble. They were facing serious federal charges that could send them away for decades. The court appearances that followed were giving total drama. During a pre-trial hearing on August 26, 2024, both Kingston and his mother pleaded not guilty, with Kingston's attorney even seeking dismissal of one case.
I mean, I guess if you going down, you might as well just go all the way down. Because if you pleaded not guilty and they got your text messages saying, I told you to make these fake receipts. Bro, like, I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. But hey, man, I probably would have did the same thing too. I ain't guilty. You got to figure this out. Because you might get off on the technicality. You say you guilty, then it's over. So.
But the prosecution wasn't having it. They had receipts, literally and figuratively. Now, I want y'all to understand just how serious these charges are. Kingston and Turner were charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 4 counts of wire fraud. Each of these counts carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Do the math. That's potentially 100 years if the sentence is...
That's crazy. Yo, 1 count of wire fraud, 20 years in prison? That's worse than the crack ever. When people was getting hit for a vial of crack, it was like 10 to 15 years. It's a small vial. And some people had a clip, they still locked up to this day. Yo, some people are still locked up to this day for crack. And that was in the 80s. It's crazy, yo. That's crazy.
Conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 4 counts of wire fraud. Each of these counts carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Do the math. That's potentially 100 years if the sentences were to run consecutive.
But that's the maximum sentence. So most likely, they probably ain't gonna get the maximum sentence. They probably get like maybe 5 years, something like that. They ain't gonna get the maximum. Like, I don't think they're gonna get the max.
Now, typically sentences run concurrently, but still, we're talking about some serious time behind bars. The trial itself was mad interesting. It lasted 5 days with the prosecution presenting evidence of 33 fake wire transfer receipts. One of the key moments in the trial came when Fort Lauderdale jeweler Moshe Edery testified about how Kingston provided a fake wire transfer screenshot for a $285,000 watch. Edery claimed that Kingston promised to introduce him to other celebrities for future business opportunities, even playing a voice memo in court where Kingston said, "I'm going to have you at all my video shoots and red carpets." But those promises turned out to be cap, and Edery allegedly lost his credibility and got fired as a result. What's also interesting is how the defense tried to spin this whole situation. Turner's defense claimed she was protecting her son from scammers, asserting she had always intended to pay back debts. Meanwhile, Kingston's defense portrayed him as a child, clueless about finances. But the jury wasn't buying what they were selling. After just 3 hours of deliberation, the jury found Kingston and Turner guilty on all counts. The moment the verdict was announced, the courtroom was filled with tension. Kingston was reportedly emotional, begging marshals to protect my mother as she was taken into custody. This moment really humanizes these situations. Regardless of what they did, seeing your mother headed to jail has got to be devastating. Now let's talk about what happens next. The sentencing is scheduled for July 11th, 2025, which means both Kingston and his mother are currently in limbo, waiting to find out exactly how many years they'll be facing. Kingston is under house arrest with electronic monitoring, while Turner remains in custody. The judge cited Turner's past criminal history as a reason for denying her bail, noting her 2006 conviction for bank fraud, for which she served.
Damn. So this probably wasn't even his idea. This probably was his mom's idea. And she got caught up. And this is probably the reason why he's on house arrest. He's probably not going to get no jail time. He's probably going to get maybe 2 or 3 years at most, maybe probably a little more than that. But she's definitely going to get some jail time. Man, this is crazy, yo.
16 months in prison. This isn't the first time Turner has been. The judge cited Turner's past criminal history as a reason for denying her bail, noting her 2006 conviction for bank fraud, for which she served 16 months in prison. This isn't the first time Turner has been in trouble with the law, which definitely doesn't help her case. During Kingston's teenage years, his mother was incarcerated for identity fraud, which adds a whole layer of complexity to this story. It seems like fraud charges run in the family, which raises questions about nature versus nurture and the cycle of criminal behavior. Speaking of cycles, let's not forget that Kingston himself had legal issues as a youth. At age 11, he faced a breaking and entering charge, leading to 21 days in jail and subsequent boot camp. His early life was marked by struggle, including periods of homelessness where his family had to sleep in cars. It's a classic case of someone who came from nothing, made it big, and then seemingly couldn't maintain that lifestyle when the checks stopped coming in. What's particularly interesting about this case is the role Kingston's mother played. The judge described Turner as the operator, fixer, and accountant behind the scheme, managing deliveries and ensuring the fraudulent transactions proceeded smoothly. This wasn't just Kingston acting alone. It appears to have been a family operation, which makes the whole situation even more complicated. Both defendants' attorneys have indicated plans to appeal the verdict. Kingston's attorney, Zelska Bozanik, stated, "We do not agree with the verdict," and expressed gratitude that Kingston was allowed to remain on bond pending sentencing. Turner's attorney, Humberto Dominguez, also plans to appeal, citing the need to challenge the court's decision. But realistically, the chances of a successful appeal seem slim given the overwhelming evidence presented during the trial. Now,
Like, come on, bro. It's. I mean, I guess he looked like the governor of New Jersey. I mean, let's be clear here. Like, bro, I get it. You want to plead guilty and you want to exhaust every option you have, but you on record saying certain things, bro. It's over. like, come on, bro. Like, it's over. Hey, fight to the end. That's all I'm saying. But you gotta recognize that it's over. You probably gonna go to prison. Your mom's gonna stay in prison, bro. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's watch a little bit more and then we're gonna get out of here.
let's talk about possible sentencing scenarios. While each count carries a maximum of 20 years, it's rare for first-time offenders to receive the maximum sentence, especially in white-collar crime cases. This isn't Turner's first rodeo with fraud charges, which could lead to a harsher sentence for her. Additionally, the scale of the fraud, over $1 million, and the number of victims involved could also factor into sentencing decisions. Federal sentencing guidelines take into account various factors, including the amount of money involved, the defendant's criminal history, and whether they accept responsibility for their actions. Given that neither Kingston nor Turner pleaded guilty or expressed remorse during the trial, they may not receive any leniency for acceptance of responsibility. Legal experts might predict that Kingston could face anywhere from 5 to 15 years, while his mother, given her prior convictions, could face a sentence closer to the maximum. However, this is pure speculation, and we won't know for sure until the sentencing hearing in July. Another factor that could influence sentencing is restitution. The total amount defrauded is over $1 million, and the court may order Kingston and Turner to pay back this amount to the victims. Given Kingston's apparent financial difficulties, this could prove challenging and might result in asset seizures or wage garnishment in the future. The fall from the top has been very loud, and fans have definitely provided more insight. Fan reactions, social media storm, and what's next. The internet has been absolutely wilding since news of Kingston's conviction broke. On X, formerly known as Twitter, the reactions have been coming in hot. One user, at Crawford_Dante, posted on March 31st, 2025, saying, "Yo, Sean Kingston and his moms just got hit guilty on that fraud tip. Over $1 million fake flexing on cars and ice. From beautiful girls to court tears, son wildin'. Philadelphia don't play that. Keep it a buck or get bucked, you know what I mean?" This basically captures the shock and disappointment many fans are feeling. Another X-user didn't hold back on the criticism. At CryptoDrugs101 commented, "Sean Kingston referencing people trying to break him daily after a fraud conviction is wild. Accountability nowhere in sight." This points to a frustration with Kingston's apparent lack of accountability for his actions. Over on Reddit, the discussions have been just as spicy, but with more of that classic Reddit humor mixed in. In a thread titled "Sean Kingston Facing Decades in Prison Following Indictment Over Wire Fraud Charges," users were quick to reference Kingston's songs with comments like, "Somebody called 911 and ain't no beautiful girls."
Did he do that song? I thought that was Wyclef Jean. Did he do that song? I thought Wyclef Jean. Maybe him and Wyclef Jean did that. Wyclef. I think it was Wyclef. Somebody called 911. Maybe it was Sean Kingston. I don't know. But
he's going. Dark humor, but it shows how Kingston's music is still part of the cultural conversation, even if it's now being referenced in a much different context. What's really interesting about the Reddit threads is the personal anecdotes that have emerged. Some users have shared stories about Kingston not paying bills at a transportation job and demanding free popcorn in Ireland, suggesting that his financial issues and entitlement might have been a pattern long before these fraud charges came to light. One Reddit user summed up what many seem to be thinking. I'm guessing he made a not massive but decent amount of money that had he been really smart with it, he could have lived comfortably, but clearly he makes bad decisions. This gets at the heart of the frustration. Kingston had opportunities that many people dream of, but poor financial management and questionable choices led him down this path. In another Reddit thread about Kingston's home raid, a user commented, "Washed up celebs trying to maintain a lavish lifestyle with no money at all. Not surprising, but still fascinating that it still happens." This perspective highlights.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to end it there. If y'all want to watch the rest, link will be in the description. Yeah, man. That's a wild story. That's a wild story. So tell me what y'all think about that, man. Y'all think that he was the name? You know, he y'all think that he should have did some time, or he should do some time for this? Or y'all think he should be on house arrest? I mean, to be honest with you, he is already on house arrest, but like I kind of said that. But he's gonna get some time. Most likely, he's probably gonna be between 7 and 10 years. Yeah, they gonna give him some time. Like, even if it's his first rodeo, they still gonna do it. And his mom, she probably gonna get the maximum. She gonna probably get like 25. You know what I mean? Maybe 20, maybe 20, somewhere around there. But let's see what happens. Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. Bye.